Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. We can see that the prices currently are consolidating a bit after yesterday's good day for a lot of cryptos. Prices are currently moving sideways a little bit. For example, Cardano hasn't moved up since my last video. Well, it did move up and calm down again. And also here Bitcoin moving sideways, and we're taking a look at if this is in line with my scenario or key scenario. I had a question underneath one of my videos, I think here the last one, where someone asked me if this Elliott Wave count that I show you here, which would tell us that, well, the price with a high probability would end down here between 20 and 29k, if this is not purely based on my interpretation. Well, yeah, it is. It is, of course, like with any TA that you do in any tools that you apply, it's all based on, well, the person's interpretation who's doing it. Of course, there are different wave counts. Of course, you could interpret this in some way, also in a bullish way, but there are many things here in the charts which don't really speak also structurally for a bullish move. So in the sense that this would have been a new all-time, well, new impulse here, and that you're just retracing here. But even if, let's say we call this here a wave 5, for example, the wave B, you would have completed that wave 5 and then you would come down now as well quite deep. So all scenarios, there is just too much that points me into the direction of the 20 to 29k level. But I repeatedly said in previous videos that even if this is a totally valid Elliott Wave count, and I talked about different scenarios in the past, obviously I can't always repeat them in every video, but there are too many things that point me towards that direction, to the downside. And there are different scenarios that I showed you as well, and all of them pretty much point me down there as well. There are, of course, ways to, where we could have hit that area first and then came down. So there are different areas and different ways of interpreting that I showed you before. But for me, this here is the most highly likely scenario, and so far, to be fair, it has worked out. Of course, there is in some way you can identify here a bullish way as well, but as I said before, the probability to really go here to new all-time highs, in my view, is only like 20%, maybe even a bit lower, and that is because of the indicators, and I did talk about them, especially on the higher time frames. You are just too high and you're just pointing down. As soon as we see these turn around potentially, and I see an impulse on the chart, I will let you know, of course. As soon as I see things changing, I know, of course, I could be wrong here, or even if this is a totally valid scenario and totally valid count, and even with the highest probability we would land here, the price could still do something different, don't get me wrong. So I'm absolutely aware I could be wrong, and I have no problem with it. And if I have been wrong here with this scenario, I will of course let you know, because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense. So I'll let you know as soon as I see anything change and turn around here. So where are we here with this scenario? What we're doing here is pretty much doing at the moment, or preparing what I assumed it would do in the last video. So I told you that this cup and handle here, or this cup shape, could now form a handle, or if it doesn't do a proper handle, it could just here consolidate a little bit, possibly above that trend line, to be fair, because that's where we got to. So we broke here obviously this red line here, this resistance, which is at 43.6k, and I told you in the last video that we could now really here consolidate a little bit before we move up. So something like that before we go up, or we could also go up straight away. But my next view is that we're going to see here this wave 4, which is sitting between 47 and 49.5k, after we came to a wave 3 low here, which was also the completion of a smaller wave 5 here at 39.5k. Since then we have started to move up. That consolidation was expected. Here you can see it, actually it's doing it, because we were in the overbought range. So it's bringing that down now at the moment, but it's not really retracing back. It's holding above that level, 43.6k, which is good to see, because this is don't know if you want to call it a neckline, or it's certainly a key support level now, yeah. And I gave you the next target for the next move up based on that. If it is a cup and handle, it would sit, I think, here between at around 48.5K, and this is also a level where I would expect the price then to turn into, and it matches very well here this blue target area, which is based on Fibonacci levels. All of that is looking interesting, especially as we broke above this descending channel here on the chart. Of course, expect some resistance here when we move through the 20-day moving average at around 45.9K today. And also where I've got this red line here that I showed you the target of that cup and handle, if it becomes one, then this is the 200-day moving average as well at 48.4K. So overall, it currently is doing what I thought it would be doing. As soon as I see any surprises, or as soon as it will do anything different, I'll keep you updated certainly. And yeah, so far looking interesting. So that is all good. No other updates here. Waiting here for Bitcoin's next move. Possibly at this, possibly there will be a breakout here at some point today or tomorrow, after the RSI has been brought down a little bit. To be honest, it could already break out here. The RSI has been brought down. What we can see here, by the way, is probably on the shorter time frame. You can see it. There you go. If I move up a little bit, this is, I didn't want to go to the 1 minute chart, but if we take a look at the 30-minute chart, yeah, you can identify of that consolidation now. You can start to identify here a little bit of a resistance level, which is currently here 44.1K. Seems to be ascending a little bit, so we'll keep an eye on that. And at the moment it seems to be it's going up a little bit, but there are different ways to draw here trend lines. So it's only 2 touch points really at the moment. So I'll keep you updated about that overall. But I would say as soon as the price breaks above, yeah, I would say 45K and Bitcoin reclaims those 44K, then you can expect a little bit of a breakout here to the upside. Then ADA is also not doing anything surprising. Need to go to the other chart. Yesterday, when ADA moved up nicely, which was, to be fair, in line with what we said, because it did outperform Cardano, Bitcoin a little bit on its move up, and I think it will do going forward if Bitcoin really moves into this target area. And then also it got stuck here at 130. Yes, there was a bit of a fake out, but in the end it got stuck there. And I told you I'm not sure if it will get here in the first move through the 130, because it was getting overbought here. That was here yesterday when we were stuck here at the 130 level. We're already overbought on the shorter time frame. And again, there you can see we tried to break through here. Went actually all the way up to 135. I know some people might have FOMOed in, but then you overbought on the 1 hour. So even any move up here is not too sustainable. So that's why we broke below the key resistance again. Always bear that in mind. Take a look at the RSIs. But again, this was only the 1 hour chart. So on the 4 hour, you weren't overbought yet. But if you're overbought on the 1 hour, there has to be at least a little bit of a retracement. There is still some room here on the 4 hour chart. So you could move up a little bit from here. On the daily, of course, there is much more scope. But I told you that the 50 level of the RSI is a very, very important resistance level. It has really been resistance throughout this whole correction. There were 2 fake outs. And yeah, again, we didn't get through it. So that was also a point where I said, I'm not sure if it will actually finally get through here. But as soon as you see a breakout, it could be a pump. But you can see it didn't. It didn't. So I think it might need some further consolidation before it can move up further. And I think it will be related to Bitcoin. And again, Cardano, as it did so many times before, got stuck here at the 50-day moving average. Yeah, at 136, which also didn't help, because you had this cluster of resistance here, 20-day moving average, then the 50-day moving average, and you were overbought on the hourly. So it was held back a little bit, which doesn't mean it couldn't now start to move up higher as soon as it consolidates. Also, good sign is that we here on the MACD, on the daily, have a first bullish cross on the MACD again, which we did before, and then we moved up all the way to 160. And here in this move as well, I think we could move a little bit higher. If that plays out, that also depends on what Bitcoin is doing. And if Bitcoin moves up into this area here, let me just measure that. So we take a look at that. From here, Bitcoin would do a move in the middle of the target area, roughly a 10% move up. Then we would see Cardano from where it is now at around here 145 perhaps, yeah. And yeah, this is what it is. Maybe it will outperform it, maybe it will get to the previous high here at 160, but we can't really talk yet about a sustainable breakout of Cardano. This would need much more, many more moves up, and in the first instance I would want it to break the 50-day moving average, but even that in the past was a fake out. You can see it up here in November. That was and the 50-day moving average is at 136 at the moment. That's pretty much the update. Now I'll keep you updated, any new developments, and there'll be another update later. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.